Hello my loves, welcome back to another episode of the art vlog. I just want to give you a quick disclaimer. As you can clearly hear, it is raining. Another perk of living in South Florida. While painting this, I'll be talking about burnout and self-doubt. Let's dive in. So while I start, I'm going to give you a backstory of this sketch. I have already sketched this piece onto like 2 different surfaces in the studio, none of which I have actually begun to paint. And that's because originally I had done this on my iPad and I was like, oh my god, mwah, chef's kiss, I love it, it's great, I can't wait to paint it. I transferred it onto the first surface and I was like, yeah, let's go. And then life happened and I didn't paint it. And then more time passed, and the more time that passes, the less confident I felt in actually trying to execute this piece that I was like really happy with. So I waited and did other things, and then months passed and I lost confidence in it. And I started painting other things, and even though I was painting those other things and they were still coming out great, I didn't want to touch this one because I was attached to it and I didn't want to ruin it, which is weird because I mean it's mine. I'm the only person that knows what it's gonna look like, but I have these ridiculous expectations for myself, and so I sabotaged myself. And I know this is a thing that we all do as people living in modern society. We put ridiculously high expectations on ourselves, and then we get upset when we don't meet them. After my last commission piece, which is the video I shared with you guys, I was feeling really burnt out, and I'm sure this is something that like everybody goes through after you like performed a task under like high stress. You need to take a break. And so I took my time, and I took about like 2 weeks before I even like did an art project for myself. And I started with like low pressure things, like just sketching in my sketchbook. And even that, I had to like really try to do it and make myself do it. And even after I did one, it took me another 2 weeks before I could do another one. And I still, after that, wasn't feeling up to facing my canvases in the studio. And so I took another break. Then I decided I was gonna do something like paint this in my sketchbook, because again, it was low pressure, and if it didn't turn out great, then no one would see it. Now comes the self-doubt part. I battle with this all the time. And sometimes it'll keep me from doing something for months. And recently it kept me from painting for like a whole year. Because pre-COVID, 2019, I was doing art shows, I was traveling, I was in galleries, I was painting murals. And for me, that felt like it was the height of my art career. And I was like, I've arrived, I've made it. And I built up this standard for it. And then COVID happened, and I had to like rethink a lot of things. And like I got a new job, and the world was changing, and I wasn't sure how to balance my art with my new life and schedule. So when the moment came where I could actually take my time and work on something, I was confronted with that. What if I'm not good enough? Or what if I'm not as good as I thought I was? What if I don't meet the standards that I've built up for myself? Honestly, what if I fail? And I know a lot of people, especially our generation, battle with self-doubt. And for most of us, it's not that someone's holding us back or telling us that we're not good enough. It's literally our minds telling us that we're not good enough. And that's because we're confronted with social media and basically everybody's life on display. And so you'll see things and you'll compare yourselves and wonder, why you're not there, like why you're not in the place where that person is. Like, you and that person are the same age, how come you guys aren't at the same level? And for me, being on social media as an artist, sometimes that happens. You'll see people like painting and you'd be like, oh, I want to paint, and then you'll see like they're following, and it's so stupid to think about it, but like you'll see like how many people are following them, and you're like, how come I'm not there where they are? And so yeah, all those things come crashing in when like you're confronted with a blank surface that you now have to make something beautiful on, or something to share, and I get crippled by it, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna avoid that like the rest of my problems. I'm just gonna walk away from it. And so today I decided, I was like, I'm not gonna be a coward. I'm going to face it. And it took me all day to build up the courage, which is why my lighting is terrible, to build up the courage to like actually go at this painting. Even though I told myself, I was like, if it sucks, no one has to see it. You can literally just close the book, you can rip the page out, no one will ever see it. But it was the fact that I would have seen it, and if I saw that I failed, it would have done something to me. I don't even know if it would have been like a really bad thing, but it would have taken longer for me to overcome it. So I psyched myself up, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, and it doesn't matter how it turns out, I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And then my camera died, and I was like, all right, so I guess I'm gonna have to take this up on another day. And I had to psych myself up again, and that took 2 weeks to psych myself up again just to finish this painting. And looking back, honestly, it's so silly. It's so silly that this had so much power over me. Like, I know I'm a good painter, and I'm not saying that because I am conceited or because I think I'm the greatest. I honestly don't. But I know that I'm capable, and I know the time I've put into something, to this, and I know what I am capable of. And so I don't know how I allowed it to have that much control over me. And honestly, at the end of the day, I'm so happy that I actually pushed through it. I'm happy that I let go and did it anyway, because I like how this piece was turning out. It was freeing, and I did things that I don't think I would have done on the canvas pieces or versions of this painting, because I guess I didn't have as much or as high expectations for it, because it was in my sketchbook and there was no pressure, and I could do my little leaves and they didn't have to be like 100% accurate. I could try out things like, you know, what a sketchbook is actually meant for, to experiment, and I enjoyed the process. Like, after I got into it, I really enjoyed working on this piece. So I'm gonna stop rambling and let you guys see the rest of the video. Please feel free to comment a situation, or if you have also battled with self-doubt, just so I can know that I'm not the only one in here. Here we are at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the painting process as well as my little rant. Please let me know if how you guys handle self-doubt or how you handle your burnout. I'm curious how other people get through this, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this painting. I really want to make prints of it. I'm excited. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.